Hi, my name is Claudia Marroquin, and I'm Dean of Admissions and Student Aid here at Bowdoin College. I'm also a graduate of the institution. I originally came to Bowdoin from Los Angeles, California, and I'm also a first-generation college student. I wanted to take a second to introduce myself properly, recognizing that students are coming to Bowdoin and are interested in Bowdoin from a variety of backgrounds. This information session is meant to be an introduction to the college, and we really hope you take advantage of all of the other virtual opportunities, as well as some of the in-person opportunities that we'll have this summer and into the fall. I'm going to take a moment to share my screen. I always like to start off with talking about Bowdoin by talking about the way to pronounce our name. I remember when I first met with an admissions officer out in Los Angeles, that I pronounced the name of the college as Bowdoin. We recognize that students may be unfamiliar with the pronunciation, but now you know, and hopefully you can help a peer in the future. But Bowdoin is a historic campus. We were founded in 1794, and we're a place of about 2,000 students. What you see is our central quad, which is connected by a network of pathways. The quad really does serve as the epicenter of our campus community and is surrounded by academic buildings. We're an accessible campus where most students walk from one end to the other, but you're also going to see a lot of wheels across campus, whether those are bikes, scooters, and skateboards. There are several means of transportation to get from one way to the next. But it's also important to talk about Bowdoin and our overlap with the great state of Maine. We do have a number of shared values, and one of those is really that ethos of hard work, as well as our commitment to community. When folks have the opportunity to visit campus, we often hear that visitors feel like there are strong overlaps between both Bowdoin and the state of Maine, that they are both welcoming places, they're straightforward, and they're places of humility. And I think those are important as you really start to think about the college community that you want to be a part of. And yes, we're way up there in Maine. We attract students who are up for a challenge, who know they're going to be supported to take risks, and are eager for new experiences. And our location does give us the benefit of all four seasons in all of their glory. Coming from Los Angeles, I had never experienced a winter, but that was something that I was really excited about, knowing that it was going to be a new opportunity and a new way of taking a risk. And we're not as remote as you might think. Bowdoin is in Brunswick. We're a small town of about 20,000 people located on the coast of Maine. But I think what's much more important is that students recognize that when they come to Bowdoin, they're part of the Brunswick community as well. Brunswick is lined with amazing restaurants and shops, and right in the middle of town is actually an Amtrak station as well as a bus station. So Brunswick is connected to Boston and points south. About 10 minutes from campus, you also will find your big box stores like Target, Walmart, and Starbucks. So for all of your non-emergency emergencies, you'll be able to really quickly have access to some of the modern conveniences that you might be used to. But I think one of the really important things about being located in Brunswick is really getting to explore the small town and recognizing that the people who live in the area live in Brunswick because they also do appreciate the access to students, but also all of the opportunities found on our campus. And we're 30 minutes from Portland, which is the largest city in the state of Maine. It's a creative and vibrant small city with lots of restaurants. So if you love good food, Brunswick and Portland have lots to offer you, but also museums and concerts and cultural venues. Portland is also where our airport is located. There are 7 major airlines, including JetBlue, Southwest, and Frontier, that all service the Portland airport. That allows our students to come from all across the US and the world. And this is important to us because our students are people. We value their perspectives and their experiences. We recognize that during their time at Bowdoin, they will be shaped by the experiences they have in the classroom and outside of the classroom, who they interact with, and the people they meet. Diversity in all its forms is important to us because it is who you are and what you represent. I would also be remiss to not mention the importance of the environment. not only as a source of recreation, but also of serious academic pursuits. While the Outing Club is one of the largest and most popular student organizations, about 15 minutes down the coast, Bowdoin actually also has the Schiller Coastal Study Center, which is a research facility for students to engage in deep academic inquiry through an interdisciplinary lens. So whether you're interested in environmental studies, earth and oceanographic studies, or chemistry, or maybe you're a writer and really interested in being inspired by your surroundings, our students recognize that their education is going to take them into interesting paths and that they have the ability to explore academics through a variety of lenses. And our students also recognize that learning is not limited to the classroom experience. With over 200 different student groups, we recognize that there's something here for you to engage in all of your interest. You don't have to choose to be any one kind of person or student at Bowdoin. We're looking for students who want to add to the life of the college and who want to leave their mark on the institution. Bowdoin is a member of the NESCAC Athletic Conference, which means that we have 31 varsity athletic teams. About a quarter of our students will compete in a Division III team where they cheer on their friends against your newest rivals who you're seeing on the screen. But that sense of school pride isn't found just on our fields or on our courts. It's also evident in theater performances, in musical performances, or really any other student-led activity that gives you the chance to support your friends. And if you've done a little bit of research on Bowdoin, you may have already heard about our commitment to the common good. Our first president, Joseph McKean, noted that students who attend Bowdoin are students who want a life of purpose and meaning. Bowdoin students do not see their degree or their education as their end goal, but as a means to use their talents and skills to contribute to the communities they choose to be a member of. And that allows Bowdoin to draw students who recognize that the common good does not interfere with personal ambition. Bowdoin students are collaborative, they're invested in one another and in the success of each other. There's a saying on the coast of Maine that a rising tide lifts all boats. And this idea that when a student is in the classroom or outside of it, they're working with one another to ensure that everyone is meeting their goals and their ambitions. And our faculty members are right there with you. Our faculty serve as mentors and intentionally advise students. They roll up their sleeves to work alongside you. They attend your events. They invite you into their homes. They want to see you succeed. And they encourage you to take the learning beyond the classroom, whether that takes the form of research, off-campus study, fellowships, career exploration and development. Bowdoin has the resources and the people to support you to embark on whatever adventure you're willing to undertake. And that leads our students to some pretty incredible opportunities after Bowdoin. Because of the common good, I do think a lot of our alums look at the nonprofit and the public service world for their careers, whether that ends up taking you into healthcare, teaching, foreign service, governmental organizations. Bowdoin students are people who recognize a problem and they work with others to come up with solutions. And that also applies to the for-profit world, where a Bowdoin education is flexible and adaptable. Again, Bowdoin alums are successful, they're creative, they're visionary, and they're socially responsible. And I want to give a quick shout out to Reed Hastings, a Bowdoin alumnus from the class of 84, who not only is the co-founder and CEO of Netflix, but has also served on a number of nonprofit boards in education. And 20% of our students go on to grad school immediately following their time at Bowdoin. Bowdoin students, again, are lifelong learners. They recognize that they love the life of the mind. So what do we look for in Bowdoin students? The not-so-secret formula is grades and hearts. Bowdoin is a selective institution. It's challenging. We're looking for students who want to be in a rigorous environment, who can keep up, and who want to have their ideas challenged. But we're also a place that recognizes that people are individuals. We're looking for people who are generous with their time, who welcome new viewpoints, who are welcoming, humble, and kind. One thing that we don't look for is income. So if you are a US citizen, a permanent resident, or an undocumented student, we are need blind in the admissions process. Regardless of your citizenship, in our financial aid process, we meet 100% of demonstrated need for all of our students, and we do so without packaging loans. We also recognize that an application fee should not be a barrier for any student who is hoping to apply to Bowdoin. So we do not have an application fee for students who are first generation to college or who intend to apply for financial aid. We believe that this type of education should be affordable and accessible to all students. And we were also the first test optional college. Since 1969, we have recognized that test scores do not tell us everything about a student. We allow students to have a choice in how they represent their academic talents. If you submit your testing, it is considered and it becomes a part of your record. But again, we want you to figure out how to best tell your story. Every year, about a third of our students are students who did not submit any test scores as part of their application. This year, which is, again, a very unusual and unprecedented year given COVID, that number has actually risen. We recognize that, again, a single exam does not define your abilities, and we are confident in our ability and our process to select great students without using test scores. If you were to ask students what it's like to be at Bowdoin, they tell you it's busy, it's collaborative, it's beautiful, it's hard work, it's a place to push yourself, a place to be yourself, and a place to call home forever. Each incoming class at Bowdoin is uniquely diverse and talented, but every single person who attends Bowdoin has one thing in common: we believe in them. The last thing that I want to leave you with is the offer of the college. It's a poem that I think really speaks to what a Bowdoin education provides. It's also part of our college application process. You'll find it in the supplement, where we ask students to read the offer of the college, to pick a line that really resonates with them, and then optionally to tell us why. If there's something in the offer of the college that has stood out to you tonight, it might be an indication that Bowdoin could be the right place for you. I encourage you to take advantage of the many opportunities we have to learn more about the college, whether that's coming to campus if you're able to, applying for one of our flying programs, taking advantage of our virtual opportunities, which include Q&A sessions with admissions officers, current students, or a virtual interview. We also really encourage you to take a look at our YouTube channel, where we have a lot of conversations and videos with folks across the college. We really want to make sure that we can answer your questions as you're undergoing the college search process, and really encourage you to reach out to us if there's anything we can do. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hopefully getting to meet some of you in the coming months. Thank you.